So the rot and decay and disgust that we have everywhere throughout our society, whether it's the Epstein Island, escort freak off party, or it's the P. Diddy freak off orgy party, or it's the Vatican freak off orgy party. This is not an isolated event. Most of the people, the bishops, the popes, they're gay. It's a boys' club. It's a big old boys' club with the boys they have around them that are their different secretaries or ones that are getting into bishops' roles. And here's what I want to say is that they mock Jesus, and they love pulling as many Catholics in that truly are innocent Catholics that want to find Jesus, and they know that they are mocking him. They know when they put their Pharisee clothes on, they're mocking Jesus. They know that they're twisting doctrine purposely. That's why they don't take correction. They would say, nobody gives us correction. We're the first church. You're not the first church of Jesus. And don't even say, well, at one time, it's a brood of vipers through and through. If there's good ones, why aren't they speaking up? Why aren't they speaking? This is a regular problem there. I was reading this book, Vatican in the Closet. And this guy was gay, and he was saying how this is really demeaning. Like Christian Catholics don't even realize how much they're being demeaned because all of these people are gay. Even their assistants around them, they get these certain boys. Not that they're little boys, but who knows. But a little bit into this, okay? This was 2017, but again, not isolated. Last week, a Vatican staffer was arrested by Vatican police who raided his apartment and discovered that a drug-fueled homosexual orgy was taking place. The official who was arrested, Luigi Copazoi, was not a top-ranking Vatican official, but he was the private secretary to Cardinal Francesco, the president of the Pontifical Council for Legislative Texts, the Vatican body charged with the interpretation of canon law. Luigi has now disappeared from the Vatican. He was reportedly taken to a hospital for treatment, then to a monastery outside Rome for a spiritual retreat. Contrary to multiple media reports, Luigi was not an official of the congregation. No, but this goes on to say that his living arrangements were in the same area as people high up. Yeah, that's how they do it, because it's a big old orgy. Because it goes on here to say that the apartment building technically owned by the doctrine of faith is used as a residence for top officials of the Roman Curia. It is not clear how Luigi had managed to land an apartment there. Ordinarily, his rank would not have qualified him for such a prestigious Vatican address. Yes, it would, because it's if they like you. Apparently, he had influential friends. He also had he also had a car, access to a car with Vatican license plates. Again, a sign that he had influential friends. Those license plates made him virtually exempt from searches by the Italian police and could have facilitated the transportation of illegal drugs. The location of his residence in a building with one door leading onto the Vatican territory and the other onto the streets of Rome was also ideal for someone avoiding police oversight. He was in line to become a bishop. So the fact is, this is not an isolated incident. Unfortunately, it's something that has always gone on. It's a big boys' club. And what they do, sadly, is that they mock Jesus because they don't represent Jesus. That's why you don't get any, that's why there's never any fix with the child abuse. They work for a different God. They're the beast. Yeah, sex parties, drugs, and gay escorts at the Pope's residence uncovered in the Vatican. This stuff's always written off, and it shouldn't be, because this is what the rot of the church is. It's a different church. It's a church that has a love and sculptures everywhere depicting the Roman gods. That's what they live in. That's why they love to live around all these Roman gods. Do you want to know something? You know, on a lot of these old sculptures, like oftentimes they have the nose missing or arms and legs. Well, there's a reason for that. Many people say, oh, it's just because it's old. No, there's something else. It's when, like when Christianity started coming through, a lot of pagans would use these sculptures to communicate with the dead through. And so people would come in and like cut the nose off or the arm off, because then it interfered with communication with the dead. And so look at it. It's all over. It's all over in the Vatican. I mean, they worship this stuff. This tells you who they are. I mean, you want to talk about symbolism being their downfall, and yet people go to the Vatican, right, and go through, oh, look at how beautiful this is. No, this all is mocking Jesus. That's what they're doing. That's the reason they want to get people to think that they're a Christian church, and they want you to call them Holy Father, because they know it mocks Jesus. Because they're a walking, mocking example of Jesus. Not example of Jesus, but mocking Jesus in everything that they do. They know who they are. And for the poor, innocent Catholics, just put your faith in Jesus and get away from these people. They don't have good intentions for this country. They don't have good intentions in the world. They're very sick. Their teachings are not possibly right, because many of these people, the biggest people that they've had that have written, or, you know, because they write their own doctrine, have been tied to child abuse. Like, this is just sick. And they would say it's art. I've done videos about sculptures at the Vatican. People that look it up, you see it and you're like, oh, this is so bad. And yet that's how easy these people have gotten away with convincing Catholics around the world. They are not a Christian church. And if you want to still believe that, it's not going to change what the true Almighty God's going to do to it. Look at all these little children. It's like, it's so disturbing. It's a symbolism gives them all away. Yeah, and the more sculptures for the pontiff. Yeah, the Pope unveils 2019 sculpture by Canadian artists. You can see down there, I guess it's a sculpture commemorating migrants and refugees. Yeah, the very things that the bishops here in America, when they should be apologizing to Catholics and telling Catholics, run, we are not a true church. We have been lying to you. But they're too busy suing Trump, because Trump doesn't want to give them any more money because of all their money laundering. I mean, this church literally helped Hitler. This is something beautiful to look at. Who's the ones that get beheaded? Christians. It's not a Christian church. We need to just start saying the truth. It is not a Christian church. They are mocking Jesus. They know they are mocking Jesus. And if there was ever any doubt of that, yeah, this is at the Vatican. Most people know this. It's Moloch. What, I guess they just say, well, it's part of the history. Yeah, and you have a history that's your main church there, the Vatican, is full of nothing but idols everywhere. Idols everywhere. You're a false church. You have been. Even if at the beginning you had some innocence to you, it is so rot now that you won't even take correction, because you know that you serve a different God. You serve whatever the hell this is. And you know what? God's going to take you down because of what you've done to your parishioners. How you never get straight, you never get honest, and you never take correction. But more than that, it's because of all of your orgies and freak-offs you've been having at the Vatican. God is destroying you.